Hey ladies and gents, we just got brand new Armored Core 6 gameplay, and I'm going to give my general reaction to the new information given to us and my overall thoughts on the changes made to Armored Core in this latest installment. Now, I'm not going to break the gameplay down. Instead, I'm going to recommend you guys go watch Vidya's video on it, as he breaks the gameplay down flawlessly and much better than I could, so go check him out. He also was one of the few that got to see more of the demo, and he breaks down the HUD and what other things he saw in the demo. So definitely go watch his video. It's very good. So starting off, we see our AC standing on a thin platform as he jumps off of it and begins free flying, which off the bat made me really excited because I know tons of people were worried about free flight not being in this installment. But it has been confirmed here that we can free fly as long as we have the energy to do so. We can also do a kind of overboost like in other installments to extend our flight if we so choose, which is great. We see our AC do a little bit more platforming here, and I'm gonna go into the lock-on system later in the video. So right now, let's just focus on how our AC here uses his missiles and his machine guns to eliminate his enemies. Now, after he eliminates his enemy, he uses the jump pad to his right after he gets ambushed by enemy fire and gets high ground advantage on these normal enemies. And I think that these jump pads are a great addition. It helps you get high ground up very fast without having to waste all of your energy getting out there. And he just Spartan kicks that poor defenseless enemy right off the ledge. Now here we see our AC doing a little bit of platforming again, but this time he's going into close quarters combat, which is not new to the Armored Core series. They've done it quite a bit because it forces you to go about it a different way and use a different strategy than you would if you were just out in the open. Now here we go with our shield, and it has been confirmed that we can do some kind of shield parries because our shield on startup has more defense when an enemy has fired at us, so that's pretty neat. Now here we see him use his scan mode. Now scan mode is making a return from Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day, and I liked scan mode because it gave you a sense of planning when you go onto the battlefield, especially in 5 and Verdict Day where it was heavily multiplayer based, but on its missions it was fun to do as well. I liked being able to plan out my moves and my strategy. I always thought that that was a fun aspect. Now here we are shown the garage. Finally, yes, I know, the garage. And we're shown quite a bit of different attachments and descriptions of each different weapons, which I think is neat. I wish we got a little bit more of this, but nonetheless we got it, and I'm very happy that they have shown it to us. We have all of our classic stats on the bottom right, where it shows AP, defense performance, boost speed, so on and so, and the weapons performance on the bottom left. Now I'm pretty sure once we hit that special triangle button or whatever it is on PC, we're going to be able to see magnificent stats that we all know and love, and I cannot wait for that. I can't wait to see what different kind of customizations or options are available in this game. I'm really excited to get my hands on it. Now on to the arguably the most controversial part of the video, the fight between this AC and this boss. It has been confirmed that we have repair kits in this game, and lots of people are very torn on this one mechanic, and my own thoughts on it are, I think it adds lots of dynamic play to the game because you have what looks like lower amounts of AP to start with than you normally would. From the HUD that was leaked on Viviad's video, it showed only about 8,000 AP, and also in the garage you could see where it only showed 8,000 AP. This is significantly lower than what we've had in previous Armored Core games. Usually Armored Cores have at most, let's go off of 4 and 4 answer, obviously since those are my favorite, most ACs would have about 38,000 AP. And that's a lot more than what was shown here. Now, they could have just lowered the number so it didn't look so intimidating for newer players, but I think they lowered that number so that we had the option to use these repair kits and that we were more vulnerable to damage. And I think that this is going to bring a lot more gameplay. I'm all for it. I'm very curious to see how they go about it. And I just want to see how FromSoft handles this differently from a Souls-like game. Now, here we're shown a giant volcano mech boss that our player gets to fight at some point in the game, and it is here that a bunch of 3D dimensional fighting is going on. Our reverse jointed player is jumping over the boss to avoid his swings and just generally avoid being hit by his giant arms. Now, it is here that two things are known. Our AC has locked onto him what is known as a hard lock, meaning our camera will track him no matter what. It will always focus on the boss. This is entirely new to Armored Core because we have only had soft lock-ons in previous titles. It has always been up to you to keep eyesight of your enemy, and then your FCS would be in charge of keeping your weapons pointed at him automatically. Now, I don't know how this will work at its fullest because FCSs are making a return in the game. It was shown in the garage, and that part dictates your AC's automatic lock, such as where the weapons will go and fire and how accurate they are, how accurate your missiles are, so on and so on. So only time will tell. As for my general thoughts on hard lock being introduced to Armored Core, I like it. Sometimes so many things are happening on the screen at once, it can be overwhelming to keep up, but having this hard lock implemented will make things just a little bit easier on the player to help keep up with the combat speed, especially for the newcomers that aren't exactly familiar with how Armored Core is played. Now, it is confirmed that soft lock will still be in the game for those more traditional players, but I would strongly recommend taking advantage of this hard lock in boss fights, as it can help tremendously. Another thing that happens to our AC here is he gets staggered by the boss once he hits you. Now, staggering, that is not a new mechanic to Armored Core. This is a returning feature from Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day. In those games, your armor was too weak to one element, your AC would stagger. So if your AC was weak to kinetic damage and you took a hit from a kinetic weapon too much, your AC would stagger. Basically, it would just make you stand in place and your screen would just say error, and it would also make you fall right out of the sky if that was the case. And that seems to be the case in this game. However, in this game, the devs have said that staggered enemies will take increased damage. So I'm not sure if that will also apply to us. But overall, this is a welcome mechanic in my opinion, as it forces you to play more cautious with your opponent, rather than just try to go outmaneuver him and go gung-ho like we see in some previous titles. I also like that the enemies will take more damage from being staggered, as it forces you to play more strategic and approach fights smarter with your weaponry. And yeah guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap up this video. As far as what I think about the gameplay trailer that was shown, I like it. I like that new things are being added to Armored Core, because in the end, innovation is what keeps things going. If we just got the old games and nothing new, nothing would be exciting, would it? It would be exciting for some of the older players, but to new players, they may not like it so much. And FromSoft this time around is trying to make this game for everyone. Now, I can really understand where some of the old vets are really upset with some of the changes made here, and I 100% understand those changes. But me personally, as someone who has also played Armored Core for roughly 15 years of their life, I'm really excited. I'm just happy that there is another Armored Core game being made after 10 long years of waiting, and I couldn't be any more excited for this game. I cannot wait till August when this game comes out, and when this game comes out, you guys are going to see tons and tons of content from that game, because I cannot wait to play it. And yeah guys, I want to hear your thoughts on the gameplay trailer, what some of you think. what your expectations are. Do you think it'll flop? Do you think it'll soar? But yeah, guys, I'll catch you later.